Alright guys, I wanted to give you guys a video of some suggestions and kind of some things that you could have done or work on before you come back in 2019 to finish up our semester. So I won't be in class today, and what I want to do is give you some things that I would have brought up to your attention if I was there. So the first thing is I did post a schedule of homework and focus and basically kind of the agenda for the rest of the semester. You have a lesson today with Tom. It's about video, and that lesson is going to be really helpful on how to shoot a good video. And then I think the second half you might start organizing some plans and ideas for break. The other two things to pay attention to is Monday when we get back on the 7th. You will have your second Lit Circle meeting, and that will be the first half of the class. And then Monday the 14th, you will have your final Lit Circle meeting, and that will also be the first half of the class. There has been a revision in the schedule. It's kind of a major revision. I realize that we are kind of rushing, so I wanted to slow down, and what will happen is final presentations are pushed back a day. They were supposed to be Monday the 14th. They have now been pushed back to Tuesday the 15th. The goal is to get everybody to present on that day, and then Wednesday is a backup day. If we lose time or what have you, then we'll present on Wednesday, and then Friday will be the actual final exam block and the reflection activity. So please look at this to kind of see where we're going and what we're doing. But the good news is you have one extra day to kind of work and focus on what you need to work on. Okay? Moving forward, this is my Google Doc that I'm sharing with Miss Ema. She's my collaborative partner. And what we decided to do was narrow our focus down, and we honed in on our topic, which is parenting pressures and stress. We did this topic, number one, because we felt like it was unique. Number two, it's definitely very much relevant to who we are. And number three, we felt like we could do something with this topic pretty easily. And we were thinking about doing a social media challenge, but the research kind of helped us make that service project even better. And so just realize that that's kind of normal. Sometimes the service project changes or evolves as you research, and it kind of should. But once you figure out your topic, you gotta kind of, everybody should come up with an article or find a resource that they could share, and you guys need to kind of start honing in on your best research. The other thing to think about is your mission. Like, what do you want to accomplish with this research and with the project? So we really want to help parents see that they're not perfect, that they should laugh, and we want to create this kind of connectivity between other people. And so our project is definitely focused on empathy. So there was a lot of research, a lot of different resources out there. We found 4 or 5 articles that we really liked, and we printed those and we annotated them. And then we looked at them together and we decided these were the 3 things we wanted to focus on. The first 2 things are actually from the articles. The first one is from an article by Today that we decided that was one of our best sources, and it talks about stress and pressure and parenting perfection. So we really like that resource, and that's going to be our first kind of research moment to share with our audience. The second thing we realized was social media actually makes parenting pressure worse. And there was a really good quote that we're going to use kind of as a showcase quote to share with the audience. And then the third thing we're going to do, so when I did my tanning presentation, I did 3 very simple research moments that were all from articles. This one is actually not based on an article at all. This is going to be our video. So we decided that we were going to do an interview video. After listening to Tom and what he talked about, we decided that we were going to follow his tips, which we outlined here, but we're going to interview 4 to 5 parents, and we're going to ask them 2 questions because we think everybody feels this, and that's what we were hoping to see in the video, and we did. But we asked parents, what are 2 things on your mind right now? And then we were going to ask, do you feel pressure to be a perfect parent? So we felt like this could be a really nice final research moment, and it would fulfill research, but it also would allow us to do a video. So we started planning and organizing our thoughts, and then we started to create a presentation. So this presentation is not done, but it's probably going to be more done, or it's going to look more done than what you guys will probably have going on over break, and that's okay. I've been working on this presentation for a couple days now. So the first thing I did was I treated this kind of like a boring outline. So I talked about like this slide's going to focus on solution, and then I jotted down some notes of what I want to focus in on for solution, and then I want to do a slide where we intro our service project, and then I want to talk about Facebook and then some other stuff. So these two slides right now are being used as planning tools. They are not final actual slides. Visually, these slides are terrible because all they're doing is a classic PowerPoint setup. In terms of my research, though, the rest of this presentation, which once again it's not done, I started to put the first half of it together. So this is my hook page or my intro page, and I will talk about good hooks later, but you've seen two hooks from me. You've seen the picture response, which I did with the tan lady, and then you also saw me do a survey, which was raise your hand if, and I did a couple survey questions. This one is just opening discussion about what we wanted to research. This is a little narrative of what inspired us to focus on this topic, and this could be a nice thing to share with your audience. We talked about it because we're parents, and then we talked about how we fake it on Facebook and make everything look really happy, but the reality is our life is chaos, and her life is chaos. So this is narrative. These are all little narrative slides that we decided to start off with. And then we have our mission slide, which we wanted to do early on. And if you notice, our mission statement has gotten more polished. But this might not come up until you get closer to finalizing your presentation and service project ideas. This is our first research slide. It's not done, but we wanted to talk about this article. So we put the article title on here. We took a picture of it. And then we're going to put this stuff up, which is basically these are little like lots of sauce quotes that we thought were really interesting from the article, and we have to add more, but we're going to do what's called a Wordle effect, which I've done this before. It's just like a collage of words, or it could be a collage of images, and we just ask the audience to look at some of these phrases and tell the audience what they think. And then this one is a key quote that we wanted to celebrate. So I put this quote on there. Originally it looked a lot like this, which I just put key quote and then I had it, but then I made it more visual. And then I made another visual quote. So these two quotes are about social media, which is our second point. And then I actually need to do a new slide, which is going to be the video. And I'm going to put down like the questions we asked and who we interviewed. But that's actually going to be in the video. So I'm just kind of using, right now, I'm just making some ideas on the page. So what are your goals? Over break or tomorrow towards the tail end of the class, please make sure you have a topic picked, excuse me. You might have a mission statement, maybe not. I do think if you don't have 3 research things figured out yet, you need to figure those out over break. And that could be you guys could write it on a Google Doc. It could be you guys meet up in person and share some articles. But I do think you should have some research, your 3 research components kind of figured out or honed in. Or maybe each of you creates a slide of what you think should be good research. But just realize these slides are not the final, and also I'm probably going to delete this slide because this slide is more important. And then also start thinking about your video, because if your video is going to be research based, then you're going to want to make sure it connects up here, and also you might need to be spending break interviewing people and collecting your research. I wouldn't worry about putting your video together yet, but I would definitely make sure you have video evidence and video interviews that you could bring back to class on Monday. I'll put this on Google Classrooms as well, but I'm hoping this kind of helped you. And you will see my sample, you'll see my Google Doc, And then, like I said, you'll have the schedule. So good luck. Merry Christmas. Have a nice break. And please feel free to email me anytime.